Hello everyone, I'm Tommy with Studio Scents. Today's video is in response to a tag video from Ashton from Scents. It was a Scent My Ride video, and so that's exactly what I'm going to do. When we come back, I'm going to show you what rides that I have and what scents that I chose to scent them with. So stay tuned, that's coming up next. Welcome back, guys. It makes sense that Ashton would tag me in this because years ago we were tooling around in his vehicle that he had at the time, and it was a white Hyundai Veloster. And I remember I really liked that car because it was cool, it was sleek, it was new. At the time you never really saw any on the road, and it had that really cool third door, that you can get in and out of. If you could, scrunch up into a fetal position and get into the back and fit. It was a little bit cramped, but still hatchback, still yet very cool sports car. Flash forward to several years in the future, it's 2016. I go to Friendship Hyundai in Johnson City, Tennessee and buy a brand new 2015 Hyundai Veloster Turbo, and that is my ride, black. So I'll show you a little bit of video here, show you how that third door opens. It's pretty cool. Now if you're a family of more than 4, you're probably gonna not like this vehicle, but I really liked it. It's a cool sports car, has some pickup when you need it because of the turbo. I've owned a lot of vehicles over the years, and this has been absolutely my favorite car, with the exception of one thing. Low profile tires may look good, but when you hit a bump it feels like you're breaking the car in half. It really just goes straight into your stomach and just mixes up all your organs and lets you know, hey, you're riding in a car with absolutely zero cushion in it. And that's the only thing I don't like about it. Around here we do have some relatively decent roads, but still, when you hit a bump, I literally thought that I've broken apart the vehicle on many occasions. And that's why I say it's one of the best built automobiles I've ever been in, because it's still super tight and rides perfectly to this day, with the exception of those low profile tires. My first fragrance for the Veloster is Prada Luna Rossa Carbon. At one point in time when I was going to buy this thing, I was thinking about getting a carbon fiber hood because the hood is relatively small, would look super cool, that carbon fiber silver against the black, but I decided against it. However, Prada Luna Rossa Carbon is a sleek, masculine, modern, woody, aromatic fougere. First came out in 2017. It features notes of bergamot, pepper, lavender, patchouli, and ambroxan, just to mention a few of them. I really like how sleek and masculine this fragrance is, and that's why it reminds me of the Veloster. It kind of has a touch of powdery earthiness to it that makes it somewhat a little bit dirty, and I like that fact because it also reminds me of carbon emissions. There you go. Prada Luna Rossa Carbon. Another fragrance that reminds me of is Mont Blanc Explorer. Now, Explorer came out last year. I've driven almost everywhere in my Veloster. It gets great gas mileage. It's a great car to travel in, not only to tool around town in, but also to travel in. And I also spray this in the floorboard. This is a fantastic car scent. If you've never tried it in your vehicle, try spraying it on either a paper towel or something. You can leave it under the seat or leave it in the glove compartment, or you can spray directly in if you have like cloth floorboards and not the rubber mats. You can spray directly into the cloth and it lasts all day long. And that's another reason this reminds me of the Veloster. It's such a reliable vehicle. When I get in it, it never doesn't start. It has, of course, the push to start. This is a very reliable, long-lasting fragrance. It lasts all day long. It can be a family car, yet it's still very sporty looking, and you've got that turbo, that power when you want it, right? And this has the power when you want it. Also, this has been called an Aventus clone. Honda. Hyundai is just a cheaper Honda, so you get, niche-like quality, but at a designer price. This woody, aromatic, leather-type fragrance does feature notes such as leather, vetiver, patchouli, cacao, akigala wood, and ambroxan, just to mention a few. Mont Blanc Explorer is not a bashful scent. It knows what it wants, and it knows how to take you there, just like the Veloster. Lastly, the fragrance I've chosen is from Lalique, and it is Lalique Encre Noir Sport. Of course, the Veloster is a sports car, and that's where the sport kicks in, though Encre Noir itself would work equally well. This woody aquatic fragrance was released in 2013, and it features notes such as grapefruit, bergamot, nutmeg, cypress, lavender, bourbon vetiver, and cashmere wood. Now, I completely fell in love with this fragrance when I first smelled it, and that's exactly what happened between me and the Veloster. When I first rode in it, I was like, I'm gonna own this car one day, and sure enough, I did. As soon as I smelled a sample of this, I said, I'm gonna own this fragrance. Turned around and ordered it, got it. Absolutely love it. It met all my expectations, just like the Veloster did. This fresh, aquatic, supremely masculine fragrance has kind of a somewhat sweet vetiver to it, and also a kind of a dark, smoky, inky quality about it that I really, really like as well. This spring and summer fragrance lasts all day long on me, and it projects really, really well. It is sophisticated yet accessible, kind of like the Hyundai line is. And again, comparing it to Honda, you get that niche quality fragrance at a designer cost. I also own a 1996 Honda Interceptor. It's called a VFR for those of you bike aficionados out there. I did feature it on my channel once before, along with a fragrance that kind of reminds me of this because it's so bright and energetic and sporty, and that is Polo Red. In lieu of, I have to say, in lieu of Polo Red Extreme. Polo Red Extreme is my absolute favorite. I no longer have that bottle. This will have to do in its stead. Polo Red came out in 2013, and it's a sporty, energizing fragrance featuring red saffron, red sage, a lot of red items in it, lavender, amber, and believe it or not, coffee beans, although you don't really catch the thickness of the coffee beans as much as you do in Polo Red Extreme. That's one reason I really like the Extreme a little bit better. But it's a spicy, woody fragrance that reminds me of riding a bike every time I wear it, and that's usually what I do when I end up wearing it, is ride the bike. Another fragrance that reminds me of being on the bike, because there's nothing that removes the fetters of stress and worry than riding a motorcycle, and that is Alfred Dunhill's Desire Red. Because it's sexy, it's alluring, it takes me where I want to go when I smell it. Launched in 2000, Desire Red opens with notes of apple, orange blossom, sweet bergamot, and lemon, also featuring rose, patchouli, and teak wood. This woody oriental composition is smooth, just like being on a bike and riding right beside a river during the sunset. Because of the red and the dark and the allure that comes out of this fragrance, it reminds me of riding at nighttime. Wearing this fragrance is an intimate experience, kind of like riding a bike, and you just have that faith when you lean into a curve every time you do that you're going to come out of it, because you have that faith in gravity. Fragrances can be exhilarating, just like riding in a vehicle can, and all of these remind me to some degree, in some form, some aspect, of riding in my vehicles. The last set of wheels I have, I don't ride that much anymore, but when I feel like burning some calories and being a little bit retro, I pop out on my penny board. What I think goes best with that is Hugo Boss Just Different. Just Different is a great spring and summer fragrance and a perfect accoutrement for any daytime activity. It also does great if you're in high heat, want to burn some calories, want to sweat a little bit. This is a perfect fragrance to wear in that type of situation. It does carry the Boss DNA, that typical kind of apple cider-ish DNA, but it also features different notes. Of course, you've got apple in this, you've got apple, you've got mint, you've got basil, coriander, cashmere, and of course, patchouli and benzoin. It's an aromatic masculine sidekick to any activity that you would want to do. If it doesn't ensure your success in doing those things, it will at least make sure that you're ready for it. I'd like to also make mention that once upon a time, I owned a Crossfire and 2 Kawasaki Z1000. These were my dream machines, and I really did enjoy driving them around at the time that I had them. I no longer own them, but all of these fragrances in one aspect or another remind me of those vehicles and the feelings that I had in driving those vehicles. Again, I really did enjoy it. Just shout out to those, whoever owns those now. I hope you're enjoying them as much as I did. Well, that's it, guys, for Scent My Ride. I hope you enjoyed my choices. Make sure to comment on what you think about these fragrances in the comments below. If you haven't already signed up for the quarantine kit that includes Dolce & Gabbana's The One Date Night Fragrance, I'll leave a link above to make sure to click on that link. All you got to do is answer a very simple question, and that is, how old were you when you had your first date? If you want to enter to win, make sure to comment on that video, the review of Dolce & Gabbana's The One, the giveaway video review, because that's where the pool of entries are going to be chosen. The winner is going to be chosen from that pool. So don't comment how old you were on this particular video. Again, click on that link above. I'll leave it twice. That way you have 2 opportunities not to miss it and enter in the right comment section how old you were when you had your first date. Guys, thanks so much for stopping by and checking out my Scent My Ride video. Ashton, thank you for tagging me in this video. I was thinking of a couple of reviewers to tag in, but you know what? I think I'm just going to do the general, hey, if you want to scent your own ride as a response, I'm going to tag all you guys. So any reviewer that wishes to scent your ride, go for it. Now's your chance. I'm going to tag you. That's right. I'm tasking you. It doesn't matter if you have a skateboard, if you have a moped, or whatever the case may be. As long as it has wheels, you can scent your ride. Thank you again, guys, for so much for your continued support on my channel. I'm Tommy with Studio Scents, and I'll see you next time.